One time my family and I went out for breakfast at this new cafe that opened across our street. I ate the lemon pepper ostrich and it caused up a fight in my stomach, so I ran to the bathroom. I had to hold the walls because my ass was starting to shaky boom boom pow pow roar help me help pew 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 boom 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 kapow wapow crash shake rattata 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 rattata. I put a hole in the wall and I started floating because of the shit blaring out my thickster. It was like a hot air balloon being filled with gas. My head hit the roof and I fell in the toilet bowl and got covered in my shit, but it kept coming and I was rattata 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 boom boom shaky help me. Help me please help boom boom shaka rattata 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 rattata, and the next thing you know the building collapsed, killing everyone in it. I got arrested for manslaughter and it turns out I had bowel cancer. One day my mom came up to me and asked me if I know what WAP means, and she proceeded to shove her iPad into my face. It was a picture of Tony Lopez with the caption "Gimme that 15-year-old WAP." I was so speechless and I told her it means wine and Patron the alcohols. I told her that guy in the photo likes to drink aged alcohol, so that's why he said gimme that 15-year-old WAP. She said that's clever and she left. She came back 10 minutes later and asked me to go like her tweet, so I went into Twitter to see her new tweet saying, "I also love 15-year-old WAPs just like Tony Lopez. Gimme all the WAPs in the world and make sure they're 15. It got like 50 retweets. OMG, I'm crying, help my mother please. One day my great-grandma was dying because she had heart disease, brain tumors, toe fungus, leprosy, diabetes, bowel cancer, stretched earlobes, nipple piercing infection, black lungs, cornea infection, coronavirus, the black plague, the Spanish influenza, frostbite, nematodes, trypophobia, Ebola, saggy skin, morning breath, like sis, you name it. She was old and diseased as shit. The doctor said she had like 3 days left, so my mom started taking photos with my great-grandma on the bed and she was uploading them to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp, Tinder, Tumblr, Wattpad. Like this bitch was really posting my great-grandma everywhere like she was a superstar. Like, relax yourself, you have 4 followers including me and my brother, you don't need to post them on all these platforms. Anyway, she asked me for a caption idea and I said do WAP, and she then asked what is that. I said it means wishing and praying, and she said that's so beautiful and she started crying like, okay bitch, it's not the end of the world, sit the fuck down with your hubba dubba bubba gubba yubba tubba flubba wubba jubba pubba zubba head ass. She made her caption WAP for granny, show granny some WAP, she's in need for WAP, go granny WAP granny WAP granny WAP. Like, you stupid bitch, no wonder you have 4 followers, make it 3 because I just unfollowed. Anyways, my great grandma died that evening.
One time I was at school and there was this creepy teacher whose name I won't say for safety reasons. Anyways, Mr. B. Johnson would always tell me to stay back after class and he touchy McSucky. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mind it because he always gave me an A+, so sometimes I'd voluntarily stay back after class. Well, one day we were doing the suckler kaza chuckler boom boom shaky bratata and another teacher unlocked the door. He shoved me under the desk and I sat there quietly, and the other teacher named Miss Caroline walked inside to give Mr. B. Johnson a note. Next thing you know, they are both suckler kaza chuckler boom boom shaky bratata. I was jaw dropped and I started crying silently because I thought what me and Mr. B. Johnson had was special, so I started recording them and I showed the principal. They both got fired. That's what you get, you horny old bitches. One time at my cousin's wedding I had a really itchy kazaka hoochula poochula zakaka kalacha pazachula zachapachula chatacha. I tried to scratch it but I couldn't because I was wearing jeans. I grabbed the dinner fork and started stabbing at my kazaka hoochula poochula zakaka kalacha pazachula zachapachula chatacha, and I accidentally pierced it through my jeans and I actually stabbed my kazaka hoochula poochula. Zakaka kalacha pazachula zachapachula chatacha. I stood up with my fishy blood dripping everywhere and I ran to the bathroom and began washing my kazaka hoochula poochula in the sink. It stopped bleeding and I went back to my table and sat down and the slow dance between the bride and groom began. The bride walked over to my puddle of fish blood and she slipped on it, falling right into the puddle, and her white wedding dress was blood-stained. She doesn't talk to me anymore because she said I ruined the most important day of her life. It was Halloween one year and we were handing out candy to the little undeserving bastard shits that knocked on our door. This one fat ginger bitch knocked on the door and of course she chose the biggest candy bar in the bucket and she said she wants another one. I said, listen here you tubby orange bitch, you get one fucking candy bar, you don't look like you need another one. She grabbed another candy bar from the bucket and started laughing at me, and I said to her, if you weren't in a costume I would think you were the grand pumpkin, you giant orange bitch. She took her shoe off and threw it at my face, and that's when I lunged at her and tackled her off the balcony. I started pulling at her orange haystack hair and she started screaming for her dad. Her dad dragged me off the little ginger bitch and he yelled at me saying, who the hell beats up a 7-year-old? I said, me you old twat, and I took her entire bucket of candy and walked inside. The cops came over and I started fake crying saying she attacked me first and I was defending myself, and my dog was agreeing and defending me. The police went to the tubby ginger thot's house and shot it up. That's what you get for messing with me, you expanded Ed Sheeran looking bitch. One Halloween I was carving pumpkins for decorations on our front porch. We threw this big party and everyone came and it was really fun. I really needed to shit blow up shit that makes the room shake boom boom pow bratata help me please help me shaka shaka bratata. I went to open the bathroom door, and it was occupied. I didn't know what to do so I ran out the front door and let out the most waterfall tap faucet didn't stop grabbed a mop from the top make it drop came in plops made my ass flop call the cops pussy pop diarrhea inside the pumpkin. I put it back on the front porch and went inside and started dancing. There was loud noises outside so I went to check it out, and I saw a bunch of trick-or-treating children playing with my diarrhea pumpkin. They were throwing it at each other and they were screaming mud fight and they were laughing. Everyone was complaining about a revolting smell, but I found it rather pleasant. Everyone left because they couldn't stand the smell anymore but I love it. I now purposely shit in pumpkins and bathe in it because it reminds me of a hot mud spa for free. Anyways, I have bowel cancer. One time I shit myself. It turns out I had bowel cancer.
One day I woke up and it was cold as fuck and I mean polar bear pussy cold. I decided to take a hot and steamy creamy dreamy shower when all of a sudden my kazalaka zaka hoochula poochula zakakakakakakakalachacha pazachula zachapachula chatacha started aching severely. The pain was that unbearable I fell onto the floor and started crying. And my mom heard me and she ran in. My mom rushed me to the hospital and asked the doctor what's wrong with me. The doctor told my mom to leave so she can ask me some questions. And one of them being am I pregnant? I said I don't know and I took a pregnancy test and it tested positive and I shit myself on the hospital bed. They had to bathe me and I got sent out and my mom said what's wrong with me and I said it was just period cramps. Y'all please help me, how do I tell my mom I'm pregnant? I'm so scared, OMG.
One day when I was in class I was violently horny. I have a medical condition that makes me unbelievably horny so I act out randomly. One day my teacher was helping me with my test, and the horniness kicked in. I jumped on her and started humping her leg, and she started screaming and she kicked me off. I got sent to the principal's office and he said if I don't sort out my urges I have to get expelled. I said I will try my best and I began to walk back to class planning my apology. I arrived and the teacher opened the door, and before I could apologize I jumped on her and started humping her leg again. I got expelled that day and my mum now gives me Valium. One time my kazalaka zaka hoochula poochula zakakakakakakaka lachacha pazachula zachapachula chatacha was deadly itchy. I was sitting on stage at my graduation waiting for my name to be called and I couldn't take it anymore, so I started knuckle gnawing at my coochula kazapoochula hachachacha zatatatata wee woo poos poos. My name got called and the spotlight light went on me and I looked up with my hand 3 inches deep in my and everyone gasped. I took my fist out and then a gallon of fish juice poured out of my veggie sack. I ran off stage and spotlight light was following me everywhere I went so I jumped out a window. So like yay.
One time when I was at my friend's house I took my pants. I didn't know what to do because her daughter was in the toilet. So when my friend wasn't looking I scooped the poop out of my pants and put it in her cat's litter box. I wiped my ass with my napkin and put it in my pocket. I sat back at the table and my friend turned around to see her cat eat my sack. I took the cat to the vet and the cat had